Are Swifties now like making Sundays official? Is this a Swiftie Sunday now?
Is that a thing? Hey guys, welcome to a beautiful episode of Woke and Pretty. We are here for you because, man, I got some good gossip. The first one is fun.
Okay, hit me. Yep.
Okay, do you watch The Bachelor? Do you watch The Bachelor or The Bachelorette?
I haven't seen the season. I didn't even know there was a season happening right now. So I did watch it back in the day.
I have never seen it. Okay, that's number one.
Not a single episode? Not a single season? Nothing?
I kind of saw like clips and pieces. I always hear about it. It's such a culture thing. Here's my fundamental problem with this show. Okay. I don't really want to see really cute people just get together and like hook up, and then he's swapping spit with somebody else and then another person, and then they're all like in these fancy places. I just don't care.
Wow,
I don't need that
really
sexy
made
life.
Sucky face sound really disgusting.
I just like, I don't want to see you be cute with this girl that I want you to be with, and then all of a sudden you're with another girl. I'm like, oh, that sounds good too. But then I'm villainizing these women, and I know it's reversed, but then I'm seeing this chick swap spit with 5 people, and then the guys are being all macho. It's not my thing. But here's what's happening. I don't know if you heard, but there's going to be a golden bachelor.
What's a golden
bachelor? I know. Let me tell you. His name is Gerry Turner, and he's 71. Adorable.
More like a silver fox.
Yeah, but like a little, like good silver fox. Like,
hold on.
Not Gary. It's Gary, but Gerry. Gary. It's Gary. The old pronunciation.
Oh, damn.
He's not bad looking, okay? Guy is
dang.
Okay.
My God.
Here, let me tell you a little bit about our boy, okay? And this is why I'm bringing it up, even though I don't watch it, okay? He was married to his high school sweetheart for 43 years, man. I die.
So cute.
And she retired, and 6 weeks after she retired, she got sick and passed away. And he says she got robbed, and it was so cute and so sad. And he's like crying and tearing up talking about his ex. But he also doesn't want to be alone because they've talked about if something happens to the one another, like they should move on, etc. He has 2 daughters. Anyway, my takeaway was retire as soon as you can, live your life with your person, but he's lonely and he's adorable. And while it's ick factor for me with the youngins / people my age,
well, adorable.
I want to see him. I don't want to see him swap spit and do the dirty with these women, but the women are attractive too, and they're older, and I feel like maybe it might be up my speed. Is that weird? I think it took what The Bachelor represented to me before was like ick. And now I'm thinking it's really romantic and love because he seems like such a genuine, sweet person that just wants to find a companion for the rest of his life. And I like that. And he even says he doesn't think he'll find the relationship that he had with his wife, nor does he want it to be that way. And he doesn't think it'll be right to even want it to be that way because that was with her and that was their relationship. This is a new relationship, a new step in life. And I'm so like, I'm probably going to watch it.
He's extremely good looking.
71, boy, plays pickleball and golf.
Beautiful. Like those baby blue eyes that he's got going on are super cute. He's very good looking, especially for his age. He's got some George Clooney.
He's got some good genes, Mr. Gerry.
And that chiseled chin. Whew, the boy, the man's hot.
If you looked at the clip, there's a clip of the host on a Zoom telling him that he got it. He's so handsome. And then you see the picture of him, and I'm like, you literally look like they took a young person and added an age filter on it. And he still looks good. I'm not really into the dyed hair and the super tan look that they did for him for the picture. I know a lot of that's doctored, but I want love for Gerry. I do. And I want to watch it. And I hope these women are not catty and they just also are in it for the right reasons, because that would turn me off. I want to see a bunch of
They're all very mature women, which is like he's 71. They're all within that range. So that's nice. And they're all extremely beautiful. Wow. It's The Bachelor. They're all extremely beautiful women.
But here's the thing. So Gerry seems very wholesome, very sweet. If you watched a clip of him and him talking, you would melt. He was on Good Morning America. You'd melt. It's beautiful. You want him to win. Now, is this going to ruin him? because there's going to be women who have ulterior motives. Maybe some of them are younger. He's never been with anyone since his wife, right? Since high school sweethearts. So you have to assume that he was a upstanding guy, never cheated, all that stuff, right? Is his wife the only one he's ever been with? Is he going to use this as his song, his odes? Like maybe Carrie will change. I don't know. I don't want to see it though. I want him to stay the same.
I guess we'll see.
Adorable. It's adorable.
It is adorable.
This
is so cute. I actually might join you in on this because I haven't seen it in ages because it became too much.
Man, after we're done, go on Good Morning America or look up the clips, play it, and then look at him like when he got the word. He's just like such a wholesome, beautiful, romantic soul that deserves the best. And I want it. I want it for a person that I do not know. And I can't say the same for the other people that go on there.
I am making a note of it to go.
Yeah, girl, let's do it. Okay. Also, my little update on Sophie Turner. Yes. You know how, I know you roll your eyes, it's still going on, but you know how she has to stay in the New York area.
I roll my eyes because I still feel really bad for her. This is too much for in general. But also her and Taylor Swift were seen obviously going out before Taylor showed up at the game on Sunday.
Yeah.
And Taylor always does things that are very strategic, in my opinion. So my question is, was Taylor at the game to take the heat off?
Wait till you hear my gossip.
Okay, let's hear it.
Sophie Turner has to be in New York because of the dictate from the judge for the kids, right? The whole thing, we talked about it last week. Guess whose apartment she's staying at? Tay-Tay's spare apartment in New York City, not her main apartment, but her spare apartment. Sophie Turner was spotted coming out of her spare apartment, and Tay-Tay's helping her girl out. But here's the thing that we forget. Y'all forget Taylor dated Mr. Joe Jonas.
Yeah.
Do you not remember this? 10 years ago, maybe more than 10 years ago. She wrote a couple of songs about this dude. She wrote, what's the songs? Forever and Always and Better Than Average. They're about him. They're about him. So they broke up. If my research, because I research guys for you all today, they were dating for about 3 months and he broke up with her on a phone call, 27-second phone call. At least it wasn't a text, right? But that's what happened. She don't got no love for this dude. She don't got no love for this dude. Remember, he also dated Demi back in the day before her.
I forgot about
She
Demi.
was friends with Tay-Tay. Listen, help your girl Sophie out. You understand that man and his tendencies, even if you had it for 3 months, Sophie had it for years, and you're still stuck with your girl. She's letting her the apartment so she can weather the storm. You know what, Tay? If you and Travis, Kelce, or whatever his name is this is just taking the heat off, okay, we're here for it. We'll take all of this
weekend in NYC. He plays against the Jets this weekend, so
maybe Sophie Turner will be there with Tay-Tay.
Oh, the drama that will happen. Oh, the drama.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Ooh. I also have a question. Are Swifties now like making Sundays official? Is this a Swiftie Sunday now?
Is that a thing?
I don't know. I guess we'll see this Sunday when she shows up. Maybe she doesn't show up at the game either. Because I did end up listening to Travis Kelce's podcast.
Oh.
Where they quote unquote dug
asked
into
him about
it a
her.
Bit. More in the sense that his brother was like, you did this to yourself. And he did a little bit. But he definitely said he's like, moving forward, this podcast and my personal life in regards to that part will no longer be discussed on the podcast.
Good for him.
Yeah. He's putting up.
He had to get to that point. And I'm going to say if he's saying that means he's serious about Tay-Tay because, she keeps her under wraps.
Yep.
So that means she had to talk with him. My husband actually was like, he's like, do you think this is real? Because it seems like all of a sudden she's out in the public and she tries not to be in the public. I
think they have known about, or correction, I think they've been seeing each other for a while. I think that like when she went to the game, I think that she had already met his mom. And I think that they've made it official. She's strategic in everything she does, even with an album drop. So much so that she releases small tidbits before she drops that album, right? I think this has been going on a lot longer than we think.
Probably.
And I think the first indication was probably like the bracelet incident. I don't think that, I think that was just the first indication. I think they probably met long before that.
Probably.
I wouldn't be shocked to find out that they met long before.
That dude would just make a bracelet and go up to a stranger and be like, here you go. Even though that's the thing. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
He does in another podcast. He does dive a little deep into that because he talks to his brother about it, and he's like, "Yeah, I made her a friendship bracelet," but she doesn't talk before or after the show. She does. It's 3 hours. She does 43 songs or something, 44 songs. She does. It's a show. She puts on a mega show. So
but she also has to get rolled in.
Yeah, she gets rolled in a box. One, dedication to her craft.
If she knew what was up, I feel bad for her because I feel like if she goes to this Sunday's game, it's going to be crazy for her. Because it's MetLife Stadium in New York. I've been to the stadium many times. I've been in the suite. I've been in the regular seats. She's not going
to go to the stadium with paparazzis surrounding the stadium. She's going to go through the back door in a catering cart.
But I'm telling you, even if you're in the suite, she's going to be in a suite, okay? She has to be in a suite or she's going to be down below. People have access to you. People can come into the suite that are on the suite. They might have security where they stop people from coming up unless you're in your suite. But if I was in a suite next door, you could just go over and be like, "Hey, Taylor," like you could just go over like that. It's not like it's a closed box. It's like it's here and it's glass on the sides and people will see you. You're very visible. It doesn't have the box. Yeah, it doesn't have the box that covers the whole thing, you know.
Okay, so not like what we saw in where did they play this at? No.
Unless they got an owner's box or something that I don't know about, but they might.
It's Taylor. She made 93 million last year. Do you honestly believe that she would be sitting in a regular box?
Yo, Taylor, you should just buy out all the seats in one section for yourself.
While we're on this Taylor thing,
nobody will bother you.
I know, right? You know how women are going like feral on the internet with their husbands being like, she put him on the map. And men are like, what? No, he was like a 2-time winning Super Bowl champion, blah, blah. Here's the thing. We're not saying that he wasn't famous. We're saying she's more famous. And then the men who like discount the fact that, no, she's putting him up. No, dude. And a good indication of that is what happened afterwards. His sales for the KC games have gone through the roof.
I know.
His jersey has sold 400% more. That's obscene. Obscene. To give you another idea.
I'll date you, girl. Taylor, I'll date you.
To give you another idea, when we heard that Rihanna was going to play at the Super Bowl, in my little small town here, it's not that small. I live in a pretty big city by Canadian standards. I literally called every single sports place playing the game on Sunday night because we wanted to go watch the game somewhere, and every single place was booked
for Rihanna.
I literally thought it was for the Super Bowl. I thought it was for the Super Bowl, and I was like, "Holy crap! Who knew it was this big of a thing?"
You were like, "Who's playing the Rihanna concert, though?"
So I called my girlfriend, and I was like, "Where do you want to?" So she's like, "Oh, I have a hookup. Let me see if I can beg." She begged. Girl, there wasn't a single seat of men in that place. It was filled with girls.
Really?
Nobody watched the game. Nobody even rat's ass about who won. Nobody. All I can tell you about that
calm down, Canada.
Cup, because 2 Kelce brothers went head to head. I also know that Travis won that year, but legitimately, everybody was there for Rihanna. And then when Rihanna came out, and if you remember, she popped open a compact and she blotted herself. She sold $1 billion in her makeup. Her makeup. She didn't even put out an ad. There was no ad. There was no commercial. There was nothing. She sold $1 billion. So to say that a woman like Taylor can't do the same for the NFL, don't come at us. I can't.
First of all, she was having a second baby. She needed that makeup to sell. To take care of her baby. She's a billionaire. The girl's a billionaire. I will date you, Taylor Swift, if you want for a day. Okay, my husband and kid be damned. I know I'm Trinidadian and you're Bayesian, but that's okay. We can let it go. It's fine. I will date you 2 for a day.
I just think
put my podcast on the map, okay, girl?
Well, I think we're just underestimating the power of a woman.
No, we don't. You and I don't.
No.
You know who does? The patriarchy.
The patriarchy. Yeah.
The people who don't want to say that's what it is because they control. No, I get it.
Yeah. But I was, and now this year, where Usher's doing the halftime show. It's going to be in Vegas. And I will tell you, I don't think he's going to get the same draw in as Rihanna did at her. Yeah.
Did Taylor Swift ever do a Super Bowl?
So one, I didn't know this, but you know that you have to pay to be in the Super Bowl halftime show, you don't get paid. You pay them. You have to produce it.
And that's the exact reason why Riri showed her compact. Fenty, baby, Fenty. She got paid.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's
like,
because
you want me to put on $500,000 halftime? No problem. I got you.
You know what makes me so gross about this, though? I'm okay with the people not getting paid because everything else is dividends, right? For that one performance. Mm-hmm. You make so much money, Super Bowl people, NFL. Give me a break. That community that you're having, it makes so much money. But whatever, they make money too.
Though, you're right. I think, though, if Taylor was to do a halftime show, the NFL needs her more than she needs them.
Oh, yeah.
So she would be like, sure, I'll do a halftime show, but I'm not producing it and I'm getting paid.
Yeah, because
and the NFL is not going to fork up that kind of money.
Don't they? I think they pay for certain things, though. They don't pay the performer, but they do pay for people to help you with the production value, don't they?
It's usually produced by like Pepsi. Apple Music is producing the halftime show this year. It's produced by.
So they get a sponsor for it, yeah.
It's sponsored by whoever.
Yeah, but the artist and their company doesn't pay for the production and the whole everything. They just come with their people and themselves, and they are the talent. But the whole thing is put on and paid for and sponsored by somebody else.
I used to think the halftime show was a little bit of, I'm going to get hate for this, but I used to think the halftime show was a little bit of like them reviving their career.
I never thought that.
When J-Lo did it, I was like, oh, somebody needs to be relevant.
No, Lady Gaga did it before J-Lo.
Oh, it's true. Okay.
I think maybe that's what it used to be. But remember, in the past decade and a half, 2 decades, it's become a thing where women only watch it for that. Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. Not last year. Riri was wonderful. But the year before that, with the 90s stuff, tell me what millennial was not dropping it like it was hot and did not care about the Super Bowl.
Loved
it. It was like
the
TikTok went crazy because of their people's parents going crazy and like dancing and going back into the day. You know what? I would have watched that concert all day. Oh, yeah, Riri was amazing. I know people came for her.
Riri concert.
I was like, first of all, girl, you hang it up there and you preggers. And that is scary because even though there's nothing, listen, that's scary because you're dancing on it. It was windy. It could move. It looked really stable, but that is really hard and scary.
I wouldn't have done that being that pregnant. Correction. I wouldn't have done it being pregnant. Done. I wouldn't have done it being pregnant. Done.
No, I wouldn't have done it full stop. That's hard. I'm not afraid of heights, but anything.
You know what's funny is that a couple of days before she was talking about it, and people were like, "Are you going to invite somebody up, or are you having a special guest?" Because
I really thought she was.
Yeah, there was like rumors that they were like, maybe she'll invite Drake or Eminem were her too. That everybody was like wondering if she would. And I remember watching that interview with a girlfriend. I was like, no, she's going to announce she's pregnant. And she was like, no. And I was like, she's looking a little full, in the sense that she was just looking very glowy and a little.
I loved her.
And then I remember my girlfriend being like, isn't this just post baby? I was like, no, the girl bounced back pretty quickly after the first one.
I don't know, man. I'm still bouncing back 3 years later. I'm still bouncing back 3 years later. I don't know. But I know what you mean.
Beautiful. But I don't think if Taylor was to do a halftime show, I don't see her. The NFL needs her a lot more than she needs them. And it's not going to happen. I wouldn't be shocked, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be Usher. There's been some Super Bowl halftimes where I'm like, I just want the whole concert to continue. I remember thinking Beyonce, Bruno Mars when he did it, I was like, yo, I can go to your concert. Like you got me. And Justin Timberlake too. I was like, okay. Anyways. I like
Justin Timberlake.
I loved her dance.
I agree. I would have loved Justin Timberlake more with his concert if the whole controversy didn't happen.
No, that wasn't his concert when that controversy happened. He had his own Super Bowl.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yes, in sync. Okay, so who do you think Usher's going to bring though? Because I think Usher's going to bring up a guest.
You think? I don't know.
I think so.
Gaga didn't bring anybody. Riri didn't bring anybody, and I think Riri. It was all about her. Usher also produces music. Maybe he'll bring out some Justin Bieber. You never know.
Oh my God, that's so funny. I was literally telling somebody else about that yesterday. I was like, I have a feeling he's going to bring up either Bieber or Bieber and Ludacris.
I'm here for it. I'm
so excited. So excited.
All day, every day, Usher. Meanwhile, go ahead, Usher. Thank you, Keke Palmer, for putting Usher on the map. Okay. And your stupid ex because that whole controversy, Usher was already big. He was bigger before. He's doing Vegas residency now. And you know what? Yeah, I know he's a producer. Yeah, I know he's on the show. Yeah, girl.
Oh, hence why he's doing, dang, smart.
Listen, you can call the shots when you that legendary, okay? But here's the thing about Usher. What's he doing that he needs this halftime show? What are you doing? What do you need? What's up? This is not the height of your career. This is your career is here and you've gone past it further than singing, further than being an entertainer. So you're doing this because you have such legendary fans maybe, but he has fans that are so hardcore because he is ingrained in us from such a young age.
Oh yeah.
That we're going to enjoy it. So it's almost like he has to bring out somebody, right?
Yeah.
But I think,
what was his song? I want to say
he was there last year. He was the same level of fame last year. He was the same level of fame the year before. He was the same level of fame 2-3 years before. But what put him on the map this past year? Keke Palmer and her baby daddy drama. Another one.
I love all these women putting men on the map.
That's what I'm saying. That was my tie-in right there. I know Keke ain't that big, but her boyfriends and his jealousy and his stupid rant. Look, Usher, you can sing to me, honey. You can sing to me. Anyway, moving on. I got one more story for you. It's a little different. It's not a celeb story, but I thought it was really interesting. Last September in 2022, there was an incident that happened here in New York, in Queens, which is a borough of New York. Mm-hmm. And I call it the water hole incident. And so what it basically is, there was like a social media clip that came out of guests at a backyard party taping because the neighbor took a hose and was spraying them to stop the music, to stop whatever they were doing. Now, it was a beautiful party in the backyard. It was a Black party and the neighbor's white. And there were a lot of situations that happened before this. So now it's coming out. So the guests were getting doused by a neighbor. His name is Marcus Rosebrock, in the backyard of Forest Hill, Queens, in the home of Eve Duraso. So why this is getting headlines? Because there's a lawsuit and 21 people at the party as part of this lawsuit. So this guy whose house it is, who is having this party, he is the head of emergency medicine at Lenox Hill in New York City, which is one of the most prestigious hospitals in New York City. It's where Beyonce gave birth to Miss Blue Ivy. My husband does a residency there. Like a lot of celebs go there. And he ain't nobody. His wife is a really prestigious person. People at the party have very high level titles. I don't know why that should matter, but it matters because they're Black. So we're validating that they are people of substance to have this claim. He was also the first doctor in the United States to receive the COVID vaccine because New York was such a hotbed.
Oh, yes.
So anyway, so him and his wife are two of the 19 plaintiffs in the case. They're hosting a surprise party for his younger sister.
Okay.
And I think the incident started happening around 9:50 because a neighbor walked into their house before that time and told them the music needs to be shut off. And they're like, oh, yeah, we're winding down. She just went into the party, walked into their house and was like, oh, yeah, this. She complained. And he was like, don't worry. We're winding it down. Don't worry about it. Blah, 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 blah. And I guess there were other things that were happening at that point. So this one party goer basically was recording stuff that was happening at the party. And then they were like, wait, what's that? And it was like neighbor literally holding the hose like this and spraying the yard like this. So why this is an issue is because in America with the slavery thing back in the day, officials used this tactic, water hosing, to keep slaves, to keep Black people. So yeah, so because this incident is so reminiscent of that time, and it's a tactic that they used to enforce the racism, to keep people down, to make them feel less than, hosing them down. This is why it's a conversation. So the reason I bring it up, it's obviously not gossip, it's a lawsuit. Min, do you think this lawsuit is validated? Do you think, what is this lawsuit about really? You can't sue someone for being racist. How is this even a real thing? A year later, we're talking about it. Yeah, they were humiliated. Yeah, they've never had a party in their backyard since because they're afraid of the repercussions. I feel like there's more to it than that. It's not the one incident. These are highly intelligent, respected people who running the ER. Girl, honey, you better hope that you don't go to that ER for something because I don't know. And so the neighbor, of course, is saying it's not racist. That wasn't what they were doing. It was in the heart
of New York City?
So it's in Queens, which is part of New York City. Right. New York has 5 boroughs. Queens is one of it. So it's not Manhattan.
But still, it's still like close, like the homes are close together.
Yeah. They are separated by a fence. So here's the thing. I thought her validation was like, oh yeah, like I was just using my hose at 10 o'clock at night. Nah, I saw that video. Literally the fence is here. The water is coming at them. There is no question or doubt about this. What are your thoughts, Min? You look a little flabbergasted there.
A little bit. So, did she try? I don't know what to say. It was on a weekend.
It was on a weekend.
Like,
the neighbor claims that his actions were justified. It was not motivated by racism. But the attorneys released a video clip because the lawsuit against the neighbor was saying that they were humiliated, put into fear, embarrassed, degraded. And it shows all the reactions of the people at this party. Some people were just genuinely
too, because they're affluent people. There was affluent people at the party. Yeah. So it wasn't like teenage kids blaring up some music.
I think that's why they were talking about their credentials, honestly. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. When the person walked in, I think he also brought his German Shepherd with him into the house to protect himself or whatever.
Okay, and they just barged in. There was no knock and waited for. They
wouldn't have heard it. They had the door going on.
All right. So one, you can't barge into somebody's home. What? We're not animals.
I'm gonna say this. I don't care who hates me, but I can say it because I'm a New Yorker. Okay. And I grew up in Brooklyn. I've been to Queens. Queens is a very huge melting pot of New York City. It's all different cultures.
You've said this before.
Until you live there, and I lived there for 4 months, y'all. Until you live there, I thought Brooklyn was so diverse. But the diversity in Brooklyn, it's segregated, right? Here's where the Russians are. Here's where the Caribbean people are. Here's where the whatever, Jewish people, this. Queens, like when you go to a part called Jackson Heights, it's like Indian people on one block, Peruvians on the other, Mexican, like everything. In this particular neighborhood of Queens, it's called Forest Hill. It's super suburbs. Okay. It's, people who are living there for a long time. There are parts of Queens, especially since it's so close to Long Island, the whole Trump divide and everything, not to get politics involved, but that separates people. But there is blatant racism in some parts of it because people have been there for so long with their people. There was a video that I watched a couple years ago, and it was people in Forest Hill, Queens, anti-segregation, for segregation. And some of these people still live there because they were like little kids talking about how this is back in the 60s, guys. It's not that long ago. So these people still are here and they are still living there. They've inherited their houses. They've moved on to wherever they're moving on. They've grown up, and you can't change overnight. So then you have a Black family living next to you that obviously wasn't there before, and you got problems. Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was interesting because I didn't really know what their grounds for suing them or bringing a lawsuit against them was. Like, obviously psychological trauma, whatever, but I don't know what they want to get out of it. Maybe they're just trying to make a point, because you can't sue someone for being racist, right? Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know how
you can't sue someone for being racist.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I didn't know how they could even have a lawsuit. What they did was what that neighbor did was dehumanizing for sure. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, it wasn't destruction of property because it was just water. It could be harassment. It could be a lot of other things. But yeah, it was just,
I don't, breaking and entering. You can't barge into my home.
I don't know if he barged in. Maybe somebody opened the door. Maybe the door was unlocked because they had people coming and going. When I have parties in my house, my door's unlocked. So I don't know. I'm sure they went through all of it, but I just thought it was something interesting to put on the radar because it's such an old school tactic to humiliate and degrade someone. Obviously, race is involved here, they're saying. I don't know if that's true. If it was a white party, would it have happened? I don't know. When I was back in the day and somebody was making too much noise, I would take my broom and I would just be like, boop, 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 up on the ceiling. Okay, you hear that. You better turn that music down. Mm-hmm. they obviously live in houses. So it's just a story. It's just an interesting story to end on. Love to hear your thoughts, guys, because I'm speechless right now. I get why.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Little curveball one, because I think the fact that it's a lawsuit and it's on People magazine right now means it's a bigger issue than what I guess I originally would have thought of. But how do you go back from your neighbor throwing water at you in the backyard? You're literally never going to go have a party or talk too loudly in the backyard. And that's really messed up because you should be able to do whatever the hell you want in your backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Like your neighbor can't do shit to your property, period.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, I'll leave it on that. Thanks guys for listening to our episode today. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. So thanks for joining us. And of course, follow us on social media. Woke Pretty Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and of course on YouTube. And you better listen to us all day, every day. We are on Spotify, we are on Apple, and we are on all of your favorite podcast platforms. So we'll talk to you soon. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a moment of action. We'd love to hear your thoughts, suggestions, and even your own pop culture discoveries.
Connect with us on social media at Woke and Pretty Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.